5 and Culver City with 12-month payment cash financing, pricing info with an expert kitchen designer, and happening right now, the big sale. To start your new kitchen right by dialing 310 Kitchen. That's 310 Kitchen. Find them on the web at 310kitchen.com. Portions of the following program will be recorded. He was vice president. He's not the one who's literally packing papers into a banker's box and moving them out of the legal observatory. It's more likely that there's a staff member somewhere who is going to be the one found responsible. I'm going to say something that he's wildly unpopular. That probably connected to Biden's son, and frankly, probably here's a picture of him eating a hamburger in Oval Office. Live 9 to 1 p.m. on JFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
At the same time, half a million Turks have raised over their Turkey. This topic of controversy will turn sensationally into it.
Hi, AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Bill Handle here. Wayne Resnick is the handle on also, the Highway Life advisory things in this episode. Trees have already gone down in Hollywood and Santa Monica. So, you can explore all around the experience. Don't you love it? Just real quickly before we finish the handle, and I'm hoping that that would be spectacular, wouldn't it? I mean, not for them, no, but what entertainment for you as a viewer? Oh, God, I just hysterical. All right, let's finish up the Hurricanes with Wayne Resnick and me. Right, to not be detained based on mistaken identity. How long is too long to figure out that you're the wrong person before you have a claim against the cop? Here is a guy named David Sosa, and it so happens that several years ago, he was stopped for theft violation, checked his driver's license. There's a guy named David Sosa who has a warrant out, a very open warrant at that point was already 22 years old. This guy was in Florida, the warrant's out in Houston. He says, I'm not that guy, I'm some other guy with my name. Take him into custody, and 3 hours later they figure out, oh yeah, the date of birth is different, the height is different, the weight is different, the security number is different, the tattoo information, it's all different. Sorry, buddy. That was 3 hours, nothing happened. He didn't steal. Fast forward more recently, and it happens again. And it's the same sheriff's office. He says, I should probably know that this is this guy, whoever this guy is not me. It's the same warrant. Now it's like 28 years old. But they take him in, and it happens to be right before a weekend. And 3 days. Sitting in jail until, sure enough, they come back finally and say, oh yeah, you're not this guy, and they let him go. Well, this guy is too. The deputies themselves who arrested him, the sheriff, the head of the department, and the county as well. Here's the thing. There's a Supreme Court case that says, if you are held for 3 days, if this happens to be 3 days, the same as this guy, if you're held for 3 days because of mistaken identity, you do not have a constitutional claim. You might have something under state law, but the Supreme Court says you do not have a constitutional claim. Now the issue simply becomes if this says you do not have a constitutional claim. Now the issue simply becomes if this case differs enough from the case that the Supreme Court heard. Here's the case the Supreme Court had where they said you have no constitutional right. A guy got a driver's license using the name and all the identifying information of his brother, but with his picture on it. He got in trouble. A warrant was issued. They picked up the brother. Everything matches. Same name, same identifiers, because brother number 1 stole brother number 2's information. Brother number 2 says, look, brother number 1 stole brother number 2's information. Brother number 2 says, look, I didn't do this, or this is about me. 3 days, they finally figured it out. The county, the Supreme Court said, not long enough for you to have a constitutional claim. The cops have a right to arrest you on a warrant. As long as the warrant is valid, even if you're not the right person. And 3 days is not too long. So, this
years now, but to dig
So
deeper
it's
into
really,
the
here, I just want to tell you, this is not so much a matter of like knowing the law. It's a matter of how much of a heart do you have that you want to say to this guy, you're different enough from the Supreme Court case that it doesn't apply to you, or it's done sorry, it still applies to you. Right. Big difference is what would you do rather than what do you think the exactions are under the law. Big differences between the two. Because the warrant clearly shows, or the fellow clearly has published different information. The cops are looking to someone that has exactly the same different information. The cops are looking to someone that has exactly the same information as the one that they're arresting and is stolen identity. They don't know it's alcohol. So I think that's a legitimate arrest. Now number one, and that is, as far as the sheriffs are concerned, second time out, do they keep a record of having, say, okay, we got the wrong person in Thompson or Jay? I don't know. Are they required to, either by policy or by state law? My guess is probably not. And if it's different cops, and we're talking years different between two pickups, that is a huge, huge aspect. And so cops are entitled to good faith mistakes. There's not a problem. However, if they're arresting them when it could easily be ascertained that there was that it was not the same person, and they simply failed to do that until the next 3 days. 3 days later, when they figured out he was not on the weekend, so it was just a bad luck. But in the end, how long would it have taken for them to figure out it's not the same person? It's only different height, different social, not that you have a social, different address. I'm assuming he looks differently, although I don't know when they run it, you get a picture of the person when they run the plates, etc. And so I think you've got him for those reasons, because they could have been a little bit more careful. They weren't careful enough and that's so small deal. So it's such a reasonable. It's not as if it was picked up and then they could have checked, especially when he said it's not me. But to check it, and if it's fairly easy to check, they should have done it. So I say he has it. And it's enough, it's different enough. You're giving me the wrong look. It's different enough from the first case. So tell me why I am wrong. You're not wrong. You are not wrong at all, because this is a gut check thing. When you try to decide if it's different or not. I will say this, the theme today has been, you have ended up with good dissent in both cases. There was a dissent here as well, where they said exactly what you said, but the two judges who had the majority said, sorry, this is a precedent from the Supreme Court, we're done. It was almost so as if they didn't want to do the hard work of really considering. Then they could have easily differentiated between the two. And say it in fact does not apply to the two separate cases. And we know that the Supreme Court or any court rules very narrowly. So it could have easily, the judge or the appellate court could easily have said, because the ruling of the Supreme Court is such, it is distinguishable, and that happens all the time, and they didn't this time. So go figure. All right, there's two new judges. I guess so. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow, and as always. Coming up, Gary and Shannon, and so you don't want to miss out. There's plenty to cover. Handle and the morning crew. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI is literally the KFI of pop radio. KFI. Los Angeles, Orange County. Just keep showing up. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. More than 2,300 people in Turkey or Syria have been killed in a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. Hundreds of people are still believed to be trapped under the rubble of toppled buildings and damaged cities. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that he will send Israeli medical search and rescue teams to Turkey to help find survivors. The Israeli aid, Netanyahu said, will be extended to Syrian civilians as well, presumably those who crossed into Turkey. ABC Miller says Israel's high-tech rescue teams will help find people trapped under an estimated 3,000 collapsed buildings. She says Israel is also likely to outsend an advanced medical clinic to help treat those hurt. The recovery of debris from a Chinese spy balloon shot down Saturday off Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is expected to take days. Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio says China used the balloon to deliver a message to America.
What they believe in Congress, and that is that the United States is the one great superpower hollowed out and declined.
The White House says President Biden ordered the balloon shot down as soon as it posed no risk to people on the ground. Strong winds had knocked down some trees in SoCal neighborhoods. The tree was blown over and onto some cars in one area yesterday. Another tree fell onto a garage in Santa Monica. A tree knocked down a light pole as it was blown down in Hollywood. The strongest gusts have been in the foothills and mountains. The National Weather Service says winds will continue at 30 to 50 miles an hour. A landslide in Santa Clarita has caused at least 5 homes in Canyon Country neighborhoods to be evacuated in yellow tide. Officials say the homes were evacuated out of caution until an assessment by the city could be made. That neighborhood state Rabbi worried for the people living in the houses that were evacuated. City officials say it's unclear what caused the landslide, but cited a geological issue. The area is also currently blocked off for traffic. Business owners in Long Beach have been hit with a series of burglaries. I don't know why they feel like we want to target. We don't keep cash here. We don't carry cash. We have small business merchandise. Business owners tell KCLA burglars have robbed several stores late at night over the past 2 weekends. The Long Beach Police Department says it's putting more resources to investigate the crime. A neo-Nazi leader recently released from prison has been arrested for plotting an attack on the Charles Road in Maryland with a woman he met while incarcerated. The two will make their first court appearance today on the charge of conspiring to destroy an energy facility. FBI Thomas Sobocinski said the pair were taking steps to fulfill their threat and further their extremist goals. Prosecutors say their plan was to attack substations in Baltimore with gunfire. They were arrested last week. The Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles have arrived in Arizona to prepare for the Super Bowl next Sunday. Chief Brian Clark took a look at two of the game's major storylines. Let's hear a lot this week about the Super Bowl coaching matchup. That's because Chiefs head coach Andy Reid spent 14 seasons as the Eagles coach. Another major Super Bowl storyline: the first time two black quarterbacks will start in the Super Bowl. They will be Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City and Jalen Hurts for Philadelphia. City employees from LA who have not been vaccinated against COVID-19 are getting a big break. KFI Petroleum reports live the city has voted to grant many pending vaccine exemptions.
This was that more than 4,500 city employees for city have voted to grant all religious and medical exemptions filed before last Tuesday. The move comes out of a committee made up of LA Mayor Catholic, 4 council members who again voted to do so in a closed session. I reached out to members of that committee to learn why this decision has been made. Now the city is still requiring employees to get vaccinated. Exemptions submitted after Tuesday, last Tuesday, will continue to be reviewed one by one. We are currently waiting to hear back from the union representing police officers and firefighters in the city for comment. Reporting live, likeforlike, KFI News.
And hundreds of schools across the country have been preparing for additional lessons to celebrate Black History Month.
And in the Bay Area, one elementary school is making a commitment to embody the spirit of Black History Month all year round. Teachers and staff at Love Elementary School say an emphasis on the social justice curriculum will help students learn the most in diverse education throughout the school year.
We're learning about people. We're learning about each other. And I don't care what color you are or who you are, or you know. We're just learning about human beings.
Fourth grade teacher Ryan Brazil says students getting better understanding of the diversity of others. Andrew Caravella, KFI News.
Taking a look at your KFI financial report right now, the Dow is down 124, S&P is down 30, NASDAQ is down 106, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.62. So now weather from KFI, very windy today, as you heard me say earlier in the story. National Weather Service predicting wind gusts of up to 30 to 50 miles an hour in some spots. Highs today are just going to be in the mid to upper 60s. Mostly sunny all week long. It looks like the temperatures will dip next Monday with a chance of showers coming in. next Tuesday. Right now it is 52 in Orange, 53 in Garden Grove, 54 in Glendora, and 53 in Burbank. Let's get a look at your drive at UKFI in the sky. And this time, Jeff Law, we're checking out the 405 again.
A windy temp and a guy. Now, Jen's not fooling around with that weather update there. It's really windy, so what's it called? You can just driving along and all of a sudden it's far from you, so be careful. But the latest problem, you can't 405 at the 101, there's a break in the car involved. Cars left in the carpool lane, that's what it's all about. Really slow, slower than it should be, really, I think is the best report there. Turn away from Victory Boulevard. And also, a Woodland Hill, just to give you a heads up on this, too. Around the time I was working in the hospital at the 101 to start up, there was a lot of LAP fire activity. They had to rescue a worker going to a pit there, so I could be winding down a little bit, but especially even if you headed through the hospital, just be a little heads up there. Two Burbank now are heading through Burbank, north 5 to the west 134, quick transition. There's a crash in one of those left-hand turn lanes, so be careful. Southbound 605, if you're just starting out to away from the 210, in this busy morning, it's trouble-free, but definitely slow, really slow all the way down. The carpool lane is slightly better. And what's 91 now, from the 605 to the 110 over the business stop. Slow now, getting through the 710, but other than that, it's really not too bad. Okay, eastbound car, that's exceptionally good. All the road to the other side, enjoy. Stand by in the sky, that's there's that there. I'm Jeff Bob. This hour is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealer. Let's go places. Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain, knee pain, or shoulder pain, pain your hips or back?
Hey, Gary and Shannon, and you don't have to go through another year in pain. Next Generation Pain Management has arrived. Here it is, CC Genetics.
CC Genetics is an ancient leader in cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Now, regenerative medicine is the all-natural process that uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body, putting them directly into your achy joints and restoring and repairing that damaged tissue.
We're talking lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Pro athletes have been doing this for years. Now you can too.
CC Genetics has over 100 clinics in America, and now they're here with regenerative solutions that can get you moving again pain-free.
If you are sick of living with pain from arthritis or injury, call the local medical professionals at QC Genetics for a free consultation.
3 locations, Glendale, Mission Viejo, and Orange. Call 213-997-PAIN. QC Genetics, 213-997-PAIN. 213-997-PAIN. My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. And luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with home title locks from you too as well. And if you can simply forge your signature on a legal document saying you sold your home to them, homeowners insurance and common identity theft program do not protect you, but home title locks does. So protect yourself. Let's go to their website, hometitlelock.com/SeanSBAS. Verify your home title is still strictly in your name. And just register your address for a free no obligation home title report for your files. That is a $100 value, absolutely free. At hometitlelock.com/Sean, hometitlelock.com/SeanSBAS.
Engage in accident, visit drop them off at the White House. Jesus, Mary, Joseph. You know, I was upset last week. I'm like, I'm missing balloon day. Like, how am I not at work right now to talk about this travesty? But you know what? balloons are still with us. Like, there are still many questions. Number one, what the hell are we doing? Where are our festivals as a country? Why should we let this thing traverse the entire freaking mainland without shooting it down? And where's the military? Like, what are we doing?
Welcome to Gary Taylor's Hot Takes.
What are we doing?
And there's more balloons here.
I know.
At least the one that was coming over Costa Rica for a while.
Right. Well, yeah, and the fact that NORAD or whoever saw this thing off the Aleutian Islands and was just like, oh yeah, there's another one trying to blow some shit to do. It's a Tuesday. Why wasn't it blown apart there? Gary, I don't know. I've asked all these questions myself. I mean, it's just such a bad look globally.
Yeah, it's awful. I had a movie script idea where Tony Blinken didn't cancel his meeting that he was supposed to go to Beijing.
Right.
But he takes a piece of this thing, smoking it still after he blew it out of the air, and throws it down on the table in front of his foreign affairs minister, whoever is, his counterpart from China. And just said, don't ever do this again. We will have to send every one of these chemicals back to you.
It's all for naught when you let that thing live its life across the entire country. I mean, if you're already exposed, the emperor has no testicles. It's what I see. It's just ridiculous. And Biden coming out and like large open as soon as possible. Baloney. If you go military as soon as possible as the president, it would have happened yesterday.
Well, welcome back. It's nice to see you.
I did. I had a week of not sleeping and it was lovely. The pretty had on my ass for the entire week.
Well, the bad news that we saw very late last night our time was the first couple of alerts that there was a massive earthquake in Turkey and Syria. As this show progresses, it's going to get worse. Right now, they're saying the number is over 2,300 who have been killed.
I couldn't get over that death toll when I saw that this morning. I mean, I was following it, and it just keeps going up.
Well, some of the images from the moment after the earthquake, when the 4, 5, 7-story apartment buildings just collapsed down on the level.
There's no infrastructure.
And there's people in there, and it's going to be forever before we can pull them out of the rubble. I mean, there's, thankfully, we've seen many instances like this. There are some incredible rescues that are taking place where they're pulling infants out, they're pulling people out that have been buried under rubble. But we're going to see this for the next several days. Obviously, we're going to see international rescue crews. There's some, I assume we're going to see some from LA Fire, LA County Fire. I mean, people who are trained in this search and rescue, urban search and rescue specifically, will be able to go there and help out in some way. But a 7.8 quake, followed by a 7.5 aftershock.
That's just terrible luck. Also terrible luck is when you live life in Buffalo and you live through a polar vortex and you're like, well, at least I'm not in California where the threat of an earthquake is real. No. And then you get an earthquake in Buffalo.
It was a cute one.
It was a little baby one. But if you're in Buffalo, you're acting as well.
Yes, this was them this morning. This is the Buffalo News this morning.
Okay, so we're having another caller on the phone right now. Denise from Shantyville. Denise, thank you for giving us a call. What was your experience of being really in the process?
I just put my son on the bus and then I sat down and my whole house just felt like someone banged on the side of it. It shook terrible, and then I just looked outside on the right side and then I didn't see anything obviously. And then I watched the news and we actually sort of well, I'm like, okay, I can see I'm not crazy.
That music for demeanor is like we're at war.
They were doing I've never seen this before. I don't know if this is a new trend in news anchoring for television, but they're standing at a high desk, it's a man and a woman, and they both have their laptops open, and they're both like, it's as if a nuclear bomb is out there.
I can hear it typing.
They're typing, and they're, okay. I just got an update from the U.S. Geographic, you don't even know how to say U.S. Geological Survey. We say it all the time. Okay. 3.8 on the Richter scale. 0.8. Because where the earthquake hit in Buffalo was close enough to Canada, apparently the Canadian geographic, what their version of the geographic survey had come out and made it, it was like 4.2 or something. Okay, so we have clarification. We say it's a 3.8. You know, these numbers will pop out and everything like that. Super duper exciting.
That would be like if snow hit here and we'd be like taking calls. What if the snow is like where you are?
All right, so they are going after the balloon. They have to pick it up. Who's
calling you at a time like this?
I'm amazed at the number of people that will come
That know what you're doing.
Hey, we are picking up the debris from this Chinese spy balloon. We'll talk about the latest and what it means going forward.
Jerry and Shannon, KFI AM 240 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Jennifer has an update.
Blood that debris from the Chinese spy balloon shot down over the weekend may end up washing up near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and military officials are asking anyone who finds parts of the balloon washing up on the shore to contact the shore. Elon Musk says the last few months have been extremely tough, but as the Twitter is now trending to break even, he stated Sunday that he had to save Twitter from bankruptcy. And at least $747 million are on the line tonight in the Powerball drawing. The multi-state lottery game hasn't seen a top prize winner since November. Here's how weather from KFI is partly cloudy today with highs in the mid to upper 60s, very windy though, with gusts 30 to 50 miles an hour. Let's get a look at your drive with DKFI in the sky, and this time we're going to update the 605.
Last time we had there, a fairly good report for the South 605. It's definitely slow, but major problems. But now you're going to work with north 605 is down. There's in between 16 and 10. Also, trying to clear it now, but it's really starting back up. Serious back up. North on 605 before the 16 that's still building. Now, leaving the San Fernando Valley, my goodness, on the 170 and 101, South 101, Lancaster is coming fast. It's slow again from about San Monica Boulevard down to the Boulevard, and then northbound 101. That's almost right outside the Hollywood Bowl. But right there, things go back up to Sunset. Real quick, West 105, 605 to LX. It was a nightmare a little while ago. It's starting to settle a little bit. I think the slowest section there, just going through the downtown. Not too bad. Okay, fine, this guy. Let's get to that back there. I'm Jeff Paul.
This report is sponsored by the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. Attention I-10 freeway drivers. Freeway and land closures are coming up for the I-10 Express Lane project. Don't get stuck. For brief reports, visit GoFCCTA.com. That's GoFCCTA.com for more information on the I-10 Express Lane project.
It's never been more important to diversify your financial portfolio. Well, that's right. The S&P is down 20% from last year. And this year, what's even worse? No one wants to use the word recession, but let's be real. We're headed towards that. Gold and precious metals offer a hedge against inflation and stock market volatility. And legacy precious metals is what John and I do. As legacy precious metals, they reject the notion that your financial future should be left to chance. So the number one goal is to get people the key to protecting their wealth and securing their financial future. Protect your retirement account by rolling it to a gold-backed IRA that'll ship directly to your door. Don't leave your retirement to chance. Call Legacy Precious Metals today at 866-691-2173. Get their free investor guide online at buylegacygold.com. That's buylegacygold.com.
Please give me a call for the lowest prices on water heater repairs and replacements. Water heaters only. That's cool. Or visit waterheatersonly.com for the lowest prices and quick same-day service. That's waterheatersonly.com. Waterheatersonly.com. Right now, during the table Cinnabon, select shares are more than 50% off. It's a leather vortex gaming chair. Now it's $119.99. Offer and store at the multiply glass. Stable, the working and learning and saving store.
You a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iPhone Media can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We'll reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers to walk off effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We have to set you up conservation policies. I have a serious question for you. Do you really need to know what they need? There are so many companies out there offering different systems at all kinds of prices. How can you really know if what you're going to build is what you're the best kind of customer? So give us a call, and we'll help you understand all the options that are for your home. If you already have a quote from another company, call us for a second opinion, just to make sure you're getting what you need and at the right price. Quotes and second opinions are always free. So call Service Champions at 833-777-7777. Find us online at servicechampions.com. Share stories of disturbing and vicious cases of possession. For the last 2 decades, Father Carlos Martins has encountered people in nearly every way imaginable. Well, how he was portrayed in The Exorcist with levitation, vomit, shame, the priest, all of that has not been a movie for me. I have seen that firsthand. Listen to The Exorcist file on the Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. I really resent these jackholes who have never accomplished anything in their life. Nothing. Who have no success to speak of. And he's deciding he wants to take down people who do things darn it because they make a lot of money. That's some kind of scam. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on JFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Did you see the picture of Maryland of this girl Sarah, neo-Nazi? Her and her boyfriend were targeting power stations there in Maryland.
I haven't seen the picture.
You haven't seen the picture here?
That's her?
She looks nice. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, as she even said, the trigger could have hit you with her finger on the trigger. We'll talk about this. This is a huge arrest and charging that came down today that they were trying to target Maryland power stations. They wanted the city of Baltimore to completely collapse. So we'll talk about that coming up along the hour.
Have you seen Ben Affleck? I get it. If you've ever gone to a Golden Mic ceremony, you understand it. And could you imagine going to a Golden Mic ceremony and not drinking? Because he's sober now.
Oh, yeah.
He had to sit through that whole thing sober.
Angry.
Terrible. Like, that's love. If you ever doubted J-Lo and Ben Affleck's relationship, check out sober Ben sitting for a 7-hour ceremony.
Every shot they had.
Oh, I get it.
Anywhere else.
I get it. Those are terrible to sit through.
We'll talk more about the Grammys a little bit later. Also, a friend of mine, Brian. We're going to be talking to Brian coming up next hour.
I was just last night watching your friend Brian.
Brian Crane.
On Your Honor.
Yeah.
That's a dark show.
Yes.
Like, I had to turn it off halfway through. I'm like, I need something nice. This is depressing.
And even the second season, I think, is less tense than the first season.
It is, but it's more depressing.
Yeah. So
If it wasn't the baby.
we'll talk with Brian Cranston coming up next hour. Now, is it next hour? No, right before noon. So as you're waiting in your car to go to lunch.
Gary, the show starts now at 9.
9? Oh, look at the time. Maybe time for you to win a chance at $1,000. Now you're set to win $1,000. Just enter the station like
today. Pretty dramatic footage of an F-22 taking this thing down. Still not clear exactly how they did it. Assume it was a Sidewinder missile, you know, the A-9. But did they hit the payload or did they hit the balloon? Or was it a proximity fuse where the thing just blew up next to the balloon? So
I've got a couple problems.
yes, problems. Balloon problems.
Balloon problems. Number one, why isn't the military taking this thing out front though? Number two, why are we still searching for debris? I mean, you and I were just talking a week or so ago, whenever I was here last, about that four-star general talking about how we're going to be at war with China in 2025. And you and I both thought, who's going to fight? Who's going to go to war? Where are we at militarily? Like, I used to have no doubt that our military was the strongest here, the best. They know so much more than they even let on. They're so much more powerful than they even let on. And now I look at this balloon situation, and I don't know where the blame goes. It obviously goes to Biden, and it obviously, to me, it lands on the military a little bit.
Depends on how the
Go get that damn balloon.
we now know we cannot trust the messaging as of yet. Like, we still do not know the full story about this. As more and more pieces get put into the puzzle, like we first saw this thing back on January 27th. Canada had its eyes on this thing. We knew it was going to come into the United States somewhere around Idaho, Montana, and it did. And then, listen, they've been watching this for days. And then some guy standing in his driveway looks up and he's like, what's that? That was what prompted all of us to learn about it, is a guy, right, Billy Montana,
Right.
standing in his driveway, looking up.
Why is it on that guy? Why does that guy have the intel that we did not have?
I did not.
Furthermore, I'm not the only one with doubt, because China's reaction of, oh, it's a weather balloon. All that says is we do not respect you. We do not respect your country. We don't respect your military power. We don't respect the president. We don't respect any of it. For them to lie so egregiously and to just kind of pat us on the head is the most terrible one. And hearing Biden, and like I said, like, I defend Biden. I think he is a good person, probably. I like the Uncle Joe thing. I would like to have Thanksgiving with him. I would like to have a drink with him. But I also don't believe that should be the barometer of the president of the United States, of who do you want to have a drink with.
Right.
That's not what I'm looking for in that case. I'm looking for the Mike Pences. I'm looking for people I don't want to have a drink with. The serious people. The people that are not going to say corn pop with a bad dude. But hearing Biden, so I defend him. But hearing him talk about this has been the weakest string that I have heard in a very long time, and it exposes this country.
I will hold out.
It's worse than Afghanistan, almost.
I will hold out hope, and I'm optimistic that we, the United States, and all of the military might and technological advances that we have, that you and I don't know about, that we were able to keep this thing in the air, but prevent it from whatever it was doing, prevent it from sending information back or whatever, right? That we would have been able to electronically jam it, block the signal, destroy it with a small, electromagnetic pulse,
3,000 miles.
whatever.
It just lived its life, transmit information, picking up intel.
But hopefully not doing
We
anything.
don't know that.
And we don't know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm optimistic that there was value for us in watching it go across. Like, what are we able to intercept it before it's being sent? What exactly are they looking for so that we can prevent this from happening in the future?
The fact that they think that they can float this balloon, quite literally, is embarrassing.
And that's the other thing. Multiple balloons. They have been doing this for a long time, right? If there was one that went into the water off the coast of Hawaii, if there have been others that allegedly traversed at some point parts of the United States during the Trump administration, if those reports are true, it should have been a very clear message to them. That thing doesn't get to come across the border.
Well, I don't know what they're trying to do with that information. If they're trying to make it like it's no big deal, balloons from China all the time. That's a problem.
That's worrisome. Right.
It's not making it feel like this is not a big deal. It's just a normal Tuesday.
Well, one thing we can do is get the balloon to get caught in a power line somewhere, which would have been
Can you get trying to come unlock the computer? Because that'd be cool.
still a problem.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The ghost of Amy Time.
Why would you bring that to me?
Stickers on the phone. I have to see the stickers the whole time. The Amy Time. It takes me when you're looking at
Did you see when we were in that research meeting when they were talking about our social media post, our social media posts, and they had like 4 pictures of Hamitar up on the giant screen.
those were the most interacted with posts.
I know that, and I still we didn't even have Hamitar. We never even got him.
Still hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Young Shannon will continue. I'll say it on the news. You're standing for Jones Lee.
More than 2,300 people have been killed in a 7.8 magnitude earthquake that hit Turkey and Syria. The center of the quake was in southeastern province in a province in Turkey, but it was felt as far away as Cairo. Thousands of buildings were reported collapsed across Syria, and hundreds of families remain trapped in the rubble. Turkey's president says he does not know how high the death toll and number of people hurt will rise because the efforts to remove the debris are ongoing. Family members of 3 people found shot to death inside their home in Montclair nearly a week ago have spoken out about their family's tragedy. George and Sonia Ramirez would have celebrated their 50th anniversary next month. David, their son, was also killed, leaving his teenage daughters devastated. Family members told KTLA yesterday they set up a GoFundMe campaign to help with the cost of the funeral. An inmate has walked away from a re-entry program in LA. Authorities say they're looking for the man who disappeared from the male community re-entry program. He was serving a 5-year sentence for second-degree robbery and evading or attempting to evade a peace officer while driving recklessly. MCRP is a voluntary program designed to provide a transition for inmates who have between 60 days and 2 years left to serve. Tens of thousands of nurses and ambulance staff in the UK have walked off the job in what unions are calling the biggest strike in the history of the country's public health system. The protesters are demanding pay raises as teachers, health workers, and others say their wages have fallen over the last decade. Nursing unions say emergency care and cancer treatment will continue during the 48-hour walkout. The ambulance service says it will respond to the most urgent calls. And Israeli forces have killed 5 Palestinians in a raid on the West Bank refugee camp. Israel claims it wanted to arrest people involved in a failed attack on a restaurant in a Jewish settlement in the West Bank last month. Prime Minister Netanyahu says 2 of the people killed by the Israeli forces were involved in the attack. The Palestinian president called the raid a crime. Israel's new government has promised to take a tough stance against the Palestinians. SoCal weather from KSI looks like we've got a mostly sunny day ahead. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s. Extremely windy though, with gusts up to 30 to 50 miles an hour in some spots. Then for tomorrow, the wind would die down, she tried to say. The temperatures will stay in the 60s all this week, mostly sunny. And then the first part of next week will drop into the 50s again. And it looks like we could see some rain then coming in on Tuesday. Right now it's 57 in Huntington Beach, 55 in Fullerton. Let's get a look at your drive with BKFI in the sky in the 60s, 57.
The weather reports are something else lately. All right, getting through Diamond Bar, construction to be concerned with, really. And it affects the 2 freeways, actually, South 57 and the West 60. Especially the West 60 now, it's still a crawl, just late out for morning drive from before the 71, so that's a tough one to get through. Now, going to Ontario, especially road drivers, listen up. East Center Utah, it's been a bad crash there. It's really backing things up. North 605 became another trouble spot. Now, there was a problem at Valley Boulevard. Valley is in between the 60 and the 10. And then another problem at Whittier. So if they're coming up now, say, from 105, it's going to be slow from the 5, pretty much all the way up to the 60, and then finally things will improve all the way up to the 210. By the way, if you want to go to Ontario using the East 210, or even the E60, they're still in pretty good shape. And once the wind, it's really a serious issue, especially since in the valley, stuff going all over the place. That South Florida is still a tough drive now from Terminal up and over the hill. Be careful. KFI in the sky, up stick to that faster. I'm Jeff Fox.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
This year, it's your year to learn a new language with Rosetta Stone. No matter what's inspiring you to learn a language, travel, work, family, or just for fun, the Rosetta Stone app makes it easy to get started and stay motivated to reach your goals. Right now, get a lifetime unlimited subscription with forever access to all 25 of Rosetta Stone's languages for 40% off. Visit rosettastone.com today and save 40%. Rosetta Stone, how language is learned.
This President's Day, don't miss Sit and Say Hail to the Chief sale. Don't you mean hail to the Chief, Larry? Number one, hail to the Chief. With over 50% off the best brands. Plus, with your good credit, buy today and it's interest-free for 36 months. On purchases above $3,000 with your minimum monthly payment, it's a hail, because you're killing me, Larry. Didn't think of being anyone's advertised price or your mattress is free. Regrow your own natural hair with the same simple one-day treatment that I received from Advanced Hair Restoration. In a free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts by calling 444-333-HAIR or advancedhair.com. You have termites? Maybe. Or you know you have termites. Either way, call the folks at Pacific Coast Termite for a free home inspection. Certain restrictions apply. They treat your home and kill those little buggers without tenting. That is important. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC. Visit PacificCoastTermite.com. Call 800-PACIFIC.
The clean, friendly way. Accident, we call it good and wrong. KFI AM 640.
The news, what it means, why it matters.
Realize I haven't played Wordle in a week. I sure do.
A powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit wide areas of Turkey and Syria today, and then a 7.5 aftershock hit a few hours later. Hundreds still believed to be trapped under the rubble. The death toll right now is at 2,300. We do expect it to rise significantly even over the next few hours. One report I saw said that the earthquake was felt as far away as Greenland. Wow. Chinese authorities have confirmed that an unmanned aircraft rigged balloon flying over Latin America was launched in China. Regular news briefing today, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said that the second balloon also came from China, but says it's simply being used for civilian flight tests. She said the impact of weather and limited self-steering ability of this aircraft seriously deviated from its scheduled course.
Proof that work is good. Tom Brady posted this picture this morning. Nobody asked for this. Not one person woke up and said, I'd like to see Tom Brady in his underwear today. Maybe there are people. I'm not one of them. I don't hate on Tom Brady and greatness, but I also don't want to see him in his underwear. And this is what we're going to get now that he's retired. And just post it's oversharing right off the bat.
Why is he covering up his junk?
That's your question.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna sit on your couch in your underpants, what are you afraid of showing?
Okay, so he's sitting on his couch in his underpants, and his hand is like right in front of the genital region.
Yes.
I love that that's what your first question was. I didn't even notice that. Like, I didn't look at this picture and say, where's his junk? The way you did.
Unfortunately, you're in a car wreck yesterday. Oh, well, I should say car wreck. He's in a big Yukon, and he hit, anyway, it was him and a bicyclist. which is not a good combination. A bicycle up against a Yukon like that.
This is not his first car crash, was it? Hasn't he been in a couple of these? I feel like
You get around enough like that, I guess you're going to have a couple of fender benders, but I guess it just makes news when you're on Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Yeah. Big news also, next hour we'll get into this. The prosecutors have put out their witness list for Alec Baldwin's preliminary hearing, and it looks like they have everyone testifying against Alec Baldwin. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So early today, there was an announcement that a couple people have been arrested for a plot to take down power stations in and around Maryland. These plans were stopped thanks to the swift action and collaboration of our federal, state, and local law enforcement partners. Together, we are using legal means necessary to keep Marylanders safe and disrupt hate-fueled violence. U.S. Attorney Eric Barrett there describing it this morning.
these two neo-Nazi leaders, Brandon Russell, 27, Sarah Clem Daniel, 34, apparently had a plan to attack with gunfire 5 substations that serve the Baltimore area. And Sarah, was speaking to a federal informant when she said, if we can pull off what I'm hoping, this will be legendary.
So, first of all, how do you meet while incarcerated?
What do you mean?
It's separate prisons.
Okay, first of all, I'm upset about something that happened while with
Tom Brady.
No. You got prison mail.
Yeah.
And did not share it with me.
Let's just sit in there.
Well, you still haven't even told me about it. I've had to hear from somebody else that we got prison mail.
It's a good note because apparently he's getting out soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Like I'm a stranger?
No.
What did we get from the prison?
A cookbook.
A cookbook.
Yeah.
What kind of recipes does it entail?
Stuff that you could get at the commissary
Okay.
and turn it into like pad thai.
How come you have not shown me this cookbook yet? I've been there for an hour. Also, your question is silly. How do you meet in prison? I mean, we've seen so many women meet men in prison.
Right, but they were incarcerated at separate prisons. Like, I don't know if there's like, hey, I've heard about this guy. You might want to send him a handwritten
There
note.
might be a program. Maybe pen pal program. Did you see the story about the killer from Idaho?
Yes. That
And
someone is
that
already.
woman
Yeah.
who's like masculine spirit.
Yes. She needs to be put away too.
All those,
Separate prisons.
yeah, those are giant red flags.
So these two met while incarcerated in separate prisons, like I said. He was in federal custody for possessing bomb-making materials. She was in a Maryland facility for robbing convenience stores with a machete.
That seems like overkill.
Yes. He wrote in a text message to her, going to prison was worth it because I might not have met you otherwise. They're both on probation.
Irrational.
It turns out that he is a former Florida National Guard member, founder of a group called Atom Blossom, attempted to use violent attacks to spark a race war in the U.S. It's small, but they say it's pretty dangerous because it's got a lot of influence on the far-right movement. One Atom Blossom member killed a gay Jewish college student in 2019. Another one killed his girlfriend's parents for opposing his Nazi views. Police discovered bomb-making materials and explosives inside a shared apartment where he was. He obviously eventually pleaded guilty to possession of an unregistered destructive. So he began talking to a federal informant while in prison. He was released in August of 21. The discussions about infrastructure attacks began last summer, and he recommended targeting transformers because they're custom made and it could take almost a year to complete.
This is a thing, apparently. There was a report in September by the Program on Extremism at George Washington University, and it found that white supremacists have been targeting these energy sector hubs to kind of collapse the government. Turn everything off.
In this case, they said they had a few power stations around
Baltimore, and if they could take 4 or 5 of them out at the same time, they would completely destroy this whole city. Now, I can imagine that I'm assuming the reason they target Baltimore is because it's about 60% Black or African American compared to 32%. And just demographically, it's a predominantly Black city. I guess that's why they would be targeting Baltimore.
Sarah told the informant she expected to die of kidney disease within months and wanted to accomplish something worthwhile before. You know what? Paint
Something.
Go to Michael's.
Yeah,
Pick up some yarn. Make a scarf.
it's one of those like dream
Green catchers.
catchers or something.
Those are nice, aren't they? That's why your dreams are sweet.
Seems like Mondo has one.
I have a dream catcher.
Is it work?
No.
Grammys last night. Big night for Harry Styles. What?
What the hell was that outfit?
We're not going to question his taste in clothing because we don't want to anger Mondo.
I don't care enough about Mondo to not question whatever that bodysuit was.
It was
I sent that picture to Mondo yesterday, and just one word, no.
it was a yawner. Despite the whole thing, they wanted to be like Sam Smith is so controversial, lame.
I heard something on the radio this morning about his performance and dropping genitals.
Lame.
I heard something on the radio this morning about his performance and dropping genitals up against some sort of prison cell.
Yes.
Thinking of, I'm going to go to my prison cookbook.
Jerry and Shannon will continue in just a moment. Jennifer Jones-Lee has an update. What's going on?
Senator Marco Rubio says the U.S. needs to put just as much focus on the message China sent with its surveillance balloon as the potential data it collected. Viola Davis is joining an elite list of winners with her Grammy win for the audiobook of memoir Finding Me. It's because she becomes the 18th person to win an EGOT, which is an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award throughout their career. In Boston, Massachusetts, they're searching for a stolen statue of Shrek. The Hatfield Police Department put a post on Facebook asking the thief to return the statue, mostly because the dragon sculpture he lives next to is frustrated and lonely. SoCal weather from KFI. Mostly sunny today. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s, but very windy with some gusts up to 30 to 50 miles an hour. This report is brought to you by Water Heaters Only. From the Southern California Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places and check the 605.
Southbound side before Valley Boulevard, it's the right block in middle lane. You're going to see a slow-going drive on the southbound side of the 605. But right now, it looks like that'll be heading from before the 10 as you're coming away from at least Ramona Boulevard, if not all the way back to Lower Azusa Road. Delays further southbound unrelated as you continue and stretches through the Whittier and Pico Rivera area from Whittier Boulevard heading toward the 5. North outside of 605 from the 5 all the way back toward the 10. Patch delays for you throughout there as well. KFI in the sky helps get there faster. I'm Napoleon.
This report is sponsored by Albertsons and Bonds. Save time and money when you shop digital deals at Bonds and Albertsons. Grab a gallon of Value Corner milk or family-sized Nabisco Oreos in a 12.2 to 20-ounce package. Selected varieties for only $3.47 each. Limit 4 with digital coupons.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain, like knee pain or shoulder pain, pain in your hips or back?
Hey, Gary and Shannon, and you don't have to go through another year of pain. Next Generation Pain Management has arrived. Here it is QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Now, regenerative medicine is the all-natural process that uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body, putting them directly into your achy joints and restoring and repairing damaged tissue.
We're talking lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Pro athletes have been doing this for years. Now you can too.
QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics in America, and now they're here with regenerative solutions that can get you moving again pain-free.
If you are sick of living with pain from arthritis or injury, call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 3
locations, Glendale, Mission Viejo, and Orange. Call 213-997-PAIN. QC Kinetics, 213-997-PAIN. That's 213-997.
A.M. when your water heater is leaking, Water Heaters Only. That's who. Or visit waterheatersonly.com for friendly local 5-star review service at the lowest prices. That's waterheatersonly.com. Waterheatersonly.com.
My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home
document claiming you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you, but Home Title Lock does. So protect yourself. Just go to their website. It's hometitlelock.com/Sean, SCAN. Verify your home's title is still safely in your name. Then just register your address for a free, no obligation home title report for your files. That is a $100 value, absolutely free. That's hometitlelock.com/Sean, hometitlelock.com/Sean, SEAN. For a better you in 2023, start with better water. Hey, it's Team Sharp for Light Source, the whole house water system that will help you be a better you. Clean and healthy water is essential to look and feel your best. Then unfiltered chlorinated water just doesn't cut it. Light Source removes the bad stuff, keeps the good, and means no more chlorine showers or baths. Feel great, look great, get Light Source water. Call 800-803-2696 or visit lightsourcewater.com. Light Source, taste and feel the difference. How to tell my friends why I feel about Dolly Parton? They say, "Oh, I love her." Is that right? Okay, that's not a dangerous statement. That's like saying, "Oh, you know what my go-to food is? Pizza." It's only to yourself. Really? I love to go on vacation. I love Hawaii. Live 4 to 7 p.m. on KMI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Coming up after the news at the top of the hour. 2 men have been arrested in that massacre of 6 people. We reported it as it happened. This was the mass shooting where a mother was shot in the head with her baby, and they returned to hide in a ditch. So an update on that after the news stop.
I watched parts of this. I was flipping back and forth between the Grammys and the NASCAR race at the Coliseum.
Very different.
I was confused. I was very, very confused.
You were non-binary.
But at the same time, Wiz Khalifa was the artist who performed at the finger quotes 10th time of the clash at the Coliseum.
Really?
Also, I thought I was going through something. That was an odd.
It's an odd fit.
And listen, it's a huge. The NASCAR fans had a great time. I had a cousin and her husband who were checking it out, and they loved it. But it was hard to watch because every 8 laps they would stop for a yellow flag because somebody spun out. It's such a weird, small, crowded track. It's hard to get any momentum going.
Yeah.
When they did like 11 laps in a row without a caution flag, everybody was excited. But anyway, party again, like no more COVID. Everybody's licking each other. Everyone's having a great time. High energy.
I was trying to follow Jason Nathanson on Instagram because he was there. He'll join us coming up at 12:30 to talk about what his first-hand experience was in our entertainment reporter there, Jason Nathanson of Hollywood. But it did look like it was business as usual, back to usual, I guess I should say.
They were talking Trevor Noah as the host. It's fine. I didn't think like he was exciting and he was good at the nice guy stuff, and I guess he's okay at improving some things, but it was all like I was waiting for something. I was waiting for something exciting to happen. And then at one point, a Chinese weather balloon that looked like Madonna showed up on stage and was admonishing the crowd because there was no energy. And I thought, of course there's no energy. They don't know who you are.
Well, I heard, and I haven't looked at, I didn't watch any of the Grammys, but I heard that when she appeared on stage that she was basically unrecognizable, and that they had pictures of her back from the glory days behind her, and that's a tough call to make. Like you don't want to get up there at 65 or whatever she is, which is beautiful. You can be 65 and beautiful. I'm not saying that you is this thin. But when you're showing pictures of you at the top juxtaposition,
she is 64. You're right.
her face, now that I'm watching, looks like it's gone through some things.
I would venture to guess there is not 1 square inch of her that hasn't gone through some things.
Really.
She was there to introduce Sam Smith and Kim Petra singing Unholy, I think is what it was. So, and
Now Kim Petras is, but I believe Kim was born
a man,
a man.
a boy, yes, and has since made the transition across the Rainbow Bridge.
Which is great. I mean, I've been listening to Kim Petras for a long time and just recently found out about her journey.
And what better journey partner to have than Sam Smith, who is also journeying through some, he's going there, Sam is going through some stuff, and I get it. And
Everyone has their own journey.
actually, I think Sam Smith is really good at what Sam Smith does. I think Sam is a great singer.
I'm going to sound about 700 years old when I say this, but you showed me Sam Smith's most recent video. I'm not here to make friends, something of that nature. And I think we're in this place that's bothering me of how can I be the most shocking? How can I be the most jarring? I push the envelope so far that I am being offensive and I'm doing it on purpose and I'm owning it. And I don't think that's a good place to be.
Well, Lil Nas X was probably the one who broke that. I mean, it's not that he's done it differently. Madonna did the same thing. The Like a Prayer video.
Remember when that was shocking?
It's not that you can't do that. It's that it distracts from the talent that you otherwise have. And in Sam Smith's case, I think
Totally. I couldn't agree more.
incredibly talented singer.
But it's distracting.
You don't have to do the shower thing and the
And the bus and the driving the bus.
truck.
Remember that scene where he's doing this?
A couple of notes about it, about the Grammys from last night. Beyonce wins and makes history for the most Grammy wins.
She was beautiful.
Harry Styles actually bested her for Song of the Year.
She looked beautiful too.
That's not funny. Bonnie Raitt came out and surprised everybody for her win for this song. And she was up against everybody and was, this legitimate surprise when she was announced.
I didn't know that she had a current song.
Yep, that's also a great point. I mean, that you get, we're different generations now, and for someone to reach back and give her that, it was incredible. Bad Bunny performed, and then apparently while the closed captioning,
We talked about this.
it read, singing in
And
non-English.
everyone lost their mind. I mean, that was held up as racist all throughout social media. That would have racist broadcast because it says singing in non-English.
Yes, we should boycott everything. Just boycott it.
Bad Bunny didn't ask for this.
No, everything. Just boycott it.
Bad Bunny didn't ask for this.
No. And then Viola Davis becomes the 18th person to pick up an EGOS, the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. She got a Grammy for her recording of her autobiography.
Again, we will give you all of the Grammy news coming up at 12:30 when we put up with our entertainment reporter, Jason Nathan.
Update on the story out of Goshen, up in Tulare County, a couple of arrests, and more details, unfortunately, about the gruesome multiple murders in one house.
Did you read our prison mail on the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was it was a great letter.
I mean, I just got to the part about the big book of butts,
Yeah.
one of his prison projects.
Gary, yeah, we'll continue right after this. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and none of it is allowed here.
KFI,
KOST HD2,
Los Angeles, Orange County.
live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Death toll rising. I'm Jennifer Jonesley, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A 7.8 magnitude earthquake has killed at least 2,300 people in Turkey and Syria. ABC's James Longman says aftershocks have shaken the area.
Focused on roads, the sheer scope of the devastation has become visible. Reports say more than 100 buildings came down in Turkey. Tremors can be felt in at least 9 cities across the country.
And a border to the south, a large area of northern Syria has also been devastated. Years of civil war in that country have depleted the resources it has to cope with a large-scale emergency. The recovery of debris from a Chinese spy ship shot down Saturday off Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is expected to take a few days. Saturday, a fighter jet striking the balloon with a missile at about 60,000 feet. The Air Force confirms this is the pilot speaking moments after the balloon was hit.
Last one. That is a big deal.
China's Vice Foreign Minister has accused the U.S. of an indiscriminate use of force in shooting down the balloon. He said the U.S. has seriously damaged both sides' efforts and progress in stabilizing relations between the two countries. LA has decided to sweepingly grant many COVID-19 vaccine exemptions to city employees. KFI's Blake Trolley reports live that decision affects thousands of employees.
More than 4,500 to be exact, all medical and religious vaccine exemptions submitted to the city before last Tuesday are going to be granted under the move. A committee made up of LA Mayor Bass and 4 council members voted last week in a closed session to give employees the break on the city's vaccine requirement. Now, this vote does not change the fact that employees of LA must be vaccinated against COVID-19. The vaccine exemptions submitted after last Tuesday will continue to be evaluated one by one. I've reached out to the mayor's office for comment. I'm also working to reach the unions representing police officers and firefighters in the city. Reporting live, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
Calls to the new 988 suicide lifeline have spiked across SoCal in the first 6 months since switching to 3 digits.
We launched in July, about a 22% increase.
Judy Harris, Crisis Care VP Terry Sandwelski says calls are also being answered within 13 seconds, much faster than before.
Our team has responded to more than 59,000 calls, 5,000 texts, and 7,800 chats.
Just in LA County, about 5,000 calls come in per month.
And the majority of the time, our call teams are able to de-escalate that situation with no further intervention needed.
Nationwide, in the first 6 months, more than 2 million 988 calls were answered. In LA, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has rejected fears of a recession and says the economy in the U.S. remains strong and resilient. Yellen also says every responsible member of Congress must agree to raise the debt ceiling, adding that it's non-negotiable.
Well, sometimes you have to look to the wall. It's something that Congress has always recognized their responsibility needs to do again.
Yellen says America has paid all of its bills on time since 1789, and not to do so now would produce an economic and financial catastrophe. The federal government hit the current debt ceiling last month, prompting the Treasury Department to step in and take extraordinary measures to make sure the government can keep paying its bills. And Beyonce has broken the record for the most Grammy wins of all time. She made history last night at the 65th Annual Grammy Awards in LA. She won for Best Electronic Album for Renaissance.
I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing the genre. God bless you. Thank you so much to the Grammys.
With 32 awards to her name, Beyonce beat the record held by conductor George Schulte. We'll get a look at your drive with BKFI in the sky in just a moment. Are you tired?
Yeah, don't be so tired.
Well, if you've got chronic joint pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, in your hips or your back, it sucks and you're tired of it.
It can be life-altering, but you don't have to go through another year in pain because QC Kinetics is here. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cutting-edge regenerative medicine, and regenerative medicine is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's an all-natural process that uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body, putting them directly into your achy joints to restore and repair that damaged tissue.
And this is lasting pain relief. There's no drugs, there's no surgery, there's no downtime.
Pro athletes have been doing this for years now. You can too.
QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics throughout the United States, and now they're here. They have regenerative solutions that can get you moving again, can get you moving pain-free.
If you are sick of living with pain from arthritis or injury, call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for a free consultation.
There's 3 locations. There's Glendale, Mission Viejo, and City of Orange. 213-997-PAIN. That's 213-997-PAIN.
QC Kinetics, 213-997-PAIN.
Checking your KFI financial report, the Dow is down 72, S&P down 26, NASDAQ down 99, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.62. SoCal weather from KFI, very windy today with gusts 30 to 50 miles an hour in some spots. Otherwise, as far as the temperature, very mild, just in mid to upper 60s. Looks like we will stay mostly sunny and high
traffic here driving on the 405.
Southbound side near Sloboda Boulevard. It's an early wreck cleared from lanes, although the 405 southbound still going to be a rough go for you coming out of the Van Nuys area from before Burbank Boulevard. Underlaid slowing continuing ahead for you through West LA as you make your way beyond Sunset and northbound side of the 405 completely better. And still kind of patching here and there for you out of Long Beach from as far back as Cherry. Seeing those delays continue to the South Bay, it gets especially heavy in Inglewood, right around Lockton Boulevard. And then further north on the 405 through West LA, passing the 10 towards Santa Monica Boulevard. Definitely going to be a rough go for you there. Got an update of something slowing you down. Past 50 on yourself on Keyword, KFI traffic off the Orange County. Busy for you on the 57 southbound. Slow going for you from Fullerton, Groveland Boulevard to Midway Club 91. 91 west up to Anaheim Hills, seeing delays for you from Imperial Highway 265. 91 west in Chelsea, Riverside, and Corona. Still kind of patchy for you, sticking around delays from the morning drive, heading into midday from before Magnolia. Midway Torque Surface Squad. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm just calling your team.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong. I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic. Probiotics? They don't really work. It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut team up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at alignprobiotics.com.
The hit true crime podcast, Paper Ghost, is back with a brand new case. Season 3 digs deep into the 1992 cold case murder of Tammy Jo Zawicki, the New Jersey College student, and uncovers a murky police investigation, a pool of new suspects, and a community still desperate for answers 30 years later.
Tammy's book, and she's not here, and people are starting to get worried.
Listen to Paper Ghost on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. This is Jacob Emma. If you've been in the truck accident, call 844-24-JACOB. More stimulating talk. Jerry Shannon, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
As if LA Unified wasn't bureaucratic enough, that there were not enough cooks in the kitchen, they want to add a lot more cooks.
Well, that's the new mentorship program.
Yes. Isn't that what we pay taxes for? Shouldn't you have enough people there at LA Unified?
You'd think they've been doing it for a while now, right? That they might have this figured out at some point. Chinese authorities are confirming that another spy balloon is floating over Latin America. Although they are not calling it a spy balloon, they're calling it a civilian flight test.
Of course they are.
The big story internationally today is the deadly earthquake that hit Turkey and parts of Syria. 7.8 magnitude quake early today, and then a few hours later, a 7.5 aftershock. The death toll is at 2,300 right now, but that is going to go up. Some of the videos of those moments after the first quake, where 5, 6, 7-story apartment buildings just collapsed. I mean, it was. We don't really have a great reference for it, but it's like a Marvel movie in that it's just this
Story out of the Washington Post ABC News, a poll that the two teamed up on that has found that we can use, a poll that the two teamed up on that has found that 62% of Americans think Biden has accomplished not very much or little or nothing during his presidency. There was also a scathing article in the New York Times today about Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's defending her.
Well, that and there was not that Washington Post poll. The other one I think was an 837. It is on the party.
Right. Well, it's bad for both of them. And you cannot talk about Biden running again with also talking about the fact that he is ancient. He is older, and he is going to maybe have some health issues. And then where are we with Kamala Harris? Right? One heartbeat away it sounds really real right now with this president. And she doesn't even have 37% of people in her party vouching for her.
Remember how crazy it got when John McCain chose Sarah Palin as a running mate? Yeah. He's like, I don't want her one heartbeat away. That guy, thinking, and John McCain was in his 70s.
Sure.
And we're not dealing with that anymore. We're well over that now in terms of.
She makes Sarah Palin look like a rocket scientist. Unfortunately. Well, when you hear her talk, it's hard to get past. And I don't know if she's just trying to put on, but it's really bad.
So you're not a fan versus
I wanted to like her. I really did.
Well, but she's from California.
Right, but she's just jobless. Like it seems like she never has risen to the level of the position that she has, or she hasn't been in the position long enough to do anything. And now that she has been in this position long enough,
Noah Beard and Angel Uriarte, both Norteño gang members, accused of killing 6 people in the little town of Goshen up in Tulare County last week. Those 6 people included a teen mother and her baby. In fact, when they were picked up, Angel Uriarte engaged in a gun battle with federal agents. They were able to wound him before they took him into custody.
there is video. There is grainy surveillance video showing that young mom taking off with her son moments before they were killed. Alyssa Farag is her name, and in the video you can see Alyssa run across a dark driveway with her baby in her arms toward a locked chain link gate that blocks the street. She's unable to escape. She hoists her baby over a nearby wooden fence and lowers him onto something on the other side before running across the driveway and vaulting over the chain link fence. Moments later, the video shows a man walk towards them and raises his right arm, dark shadow of a gun visible in his hand, and then the video cuts off.
They did have a 911 call. You could hear a woman inside the house calling 911. They shot my boyfriend. They keep shooting outside. I don't know if they're still here. I'm scared. I don't know where they are now. They're still shooting. They're still shooting. So the way it was described, we played for you, the sheriff has said that in his time on the force, he's never seen, like, especially in a little place like Goshen. That being said, there are all kinds of mule stops, drug houses, warehouses, basically up and down the Central Valley, where gangs and cartels are using these small, quiet, otherwise, sleepy neighborhoods as the storage points for a lot of their distribution when it comes to the drug into the states.
All right, coming up next, LA Unified has started a mentorship program to help with students who score grades, chronically absent, need emotional support.
Jones Woody has an update.
At least 2,300 people have been killed after that powerful earthquake in Turkey and Syria. Meantime, help is being given by many nations, including the U.S., where President Biden is directing U.S. aid to assess all response options. Former President Trump continues to lead President Biden in the polls. New ABC News Washington Post survey shows Trump leading Biden by 3 points in a hypothetical 2024 rematch. And Fox is officially sold out of all its Super Bowl commercial inventory. Prices ended up rising above the $7 million mark for a 30-second spot. We got a drive on the 91 in just a moment.
Okay. Your dilemma. Let's say that you can pay your homeowner's insurance premium, like, and then you need homeowner's insurance because you have an incident like water damage, broken pipe, toilet overflow, something like that. You open a claim to the homeowner's insurance company and find out the adjuster is trying to pay you so little that you won't even be able to repair the damage. Now is where you call After Jack. After Jack is a public insurance adjuster, which means he's on your side. And while you may try to negotiate with the insurance company yourself, you're going to find very quickly that it's not that simple. But Abner will negotiate on your behalf to make sure that you are getting the best possible outcome, not the insurance company. Abner and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for years. It is all they do. They've got the experience, they've got the industry know-how you need on your side. They're also rated 5 stars on Yelp and Google. No one messes around with Abner. Give Abner a call, 818-953-56. Or visit AbnerGat.com, ABNERGAT, AbnerGat.com, or call him 818-917-5256.
Your drive on the 91.
Instead of other news for you, you're going to see the story area on the eastbound side with traffic is keen as they're getting into and over the side. It's so the right so the eastbound side of the 91 is surprisingly a little boring for you as you come away from about Main Street. What's on 91 how to figure the doctor? So into the extraordinary, that's what the 70 with the place for the important area, and then you'll see a slow down. You never approach or purchase or energy and contact.
IRS December tax refund. Monday today is up to $3,500 with a no interest, no fee refund advance loan. When you file your tax, visit Jackson Hewitt. For our real time info, hold the customer details at jacksonhewitt.com.
That's the medication that treats COVID-19. Well, that's the California Department of Public Health.
What's for dinner? Burger? Avoiding food due to severe diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, and weak or loose stool? It may not be just stomach issue. It could be UTI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. UTI can cause uncomfortable symptoms. It's a risky condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But UTI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyuti.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyuti.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Steve Sharp. Let me tell you unfiltered truths about water softeners. They don't filter anything. They add something to old-fashioned, costly, maintenance-heavy, but hey, there's a better solution. A Likeforlike salt-free water system. Filtered and delicious water from every tap, nose, maintenance, and perfect for various family softness. Likeforlike does more than a softener. Better. Get yours by calling 800-803-2696 or visit likeforlikewater.com. Likeforlike, taste and feel the difference.
On the Exorcist Files podcast, a leading exorcist and demonologist shares stories of disturbing and vicious cases of possession. For the last 2 decades, Father Carlos Martins has encountered people in nearly every way imaginable. What Hollywood portrayed in The Exorcist with levitations, vomiting, spitting at the priest, all of that has not been a movie for me. I have seen that firsthand. Listen to The Exorcist Files on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Apparently, the school administrators at this particular school district just never listen to the teachers. And now we get one that gets shot. And this principal has a PhD. She doesn't have the common sense that if you've got 4 people saying the kid has a gun, you go get the kid, John, and yeah. I mean, presumably this woman has a triple-digit IQ, right? Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
I did something while I was gone, and it was putting down my phone. Like I just didn't have it on me for 3 or 4 days. Because did you know? No, you wouldn't do that.
In fact, I did send you a text and I said, don't read anymore until you come.
Well, you sent me a text, and at the end it says, don't read this while you're on vacation. It's like, well, I already got through the whole thing. But no, I haven't not had my phone on me like that for years, I would like to say, probably. And the peace that I felt without having, just not even having the option, like it's not even on me, right? The peace that comes over you when you're not constantly connected or wondering, or, oh, I'll look this up, or what's going on in the news, or what's going on social media, or just scrolling mindlessly, is incredible. I
talk about the decision very quietly made, the decision very quietly made that the state, the take-up rate on shots for your kids for something that was statistically complete insignificant to children. They were like, how come nobody's gonna make it?
That's all it is. It was just a moneymaker for the pharmaceutical companies. It was a moneymaker for the FDA, who's in bed with the pharmaceutical companies, the politicians that are. But when you screw with the kids, when you involve the kids and do this with your kids, it just goes to me with grossness. I mean, I'm not a parent, but if I was, I would really hate people telling me what to do with my kids. I would really hate that. I would say, you don't know me, you don't know my kid, and I know what's best for my kid. You don't. Gavin Newsom knows what's best for my kid? Absolutely not.
Well, this goes back to the misinformation bill too, right? The state telling your doctor what to tell you about.
Right, and that's annoying on a state, but when it involves your kids, it's another level.
All right, we'll get into the school thing here. First, we have a chance for you to win $1,000.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keywords on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND, GRAND. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash. Powered by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. If you're hurt in an accident, winning is everything. Call the winning attorneys at Sweet James. 800-500-5200. That's 800-500-5200 or sweetjames.com.
And the keyword goes on the website. Don't forget.
5200. That's 800-500-5200 or sweetjames.com.
And the keyword goes on the website. Don't forget. KFIAM640.com/cash and email. So they're going to notify you when you win your $1,000. On its face, this is, I understand the idea.
Terrible idea on its face. All I can think of is how it will go wrong.
Superintendent Alberto Cavallo has unveiled a new program for LIUSD called Everyone Mentors.
A new initiative to pair disadvantaged students with a role model and cheerleaders can help them realize their potential and overcome barriers to unlock it. Okay, number one, LA Unified should be there to teach children. I understand that sometimes the attendance rate is going to be poor. This is basically for kids who are chronically absent. But how is them having a mentor / cheerleader going to get their butts on feet? This is going to be a problem. Every student, they're going to say, matching every student with a personal mentor who they will meet with after school on campus for at least 1 hour a week. To me, all I see are big, blinking, huge neon lights that say liability.
Because how are you going to be able to vet these different mentors
And you're going to have them molesting these kids on campus?
you be meeting with? Is that what?
Right.
Because it sounded like you said molesting. Now that to me is one of those issues where the heart is in the right place. The idea of finding somebody who's going to spend it's a big brother, big sister.
It's a made-for-TV movie that I would absolutely watch. Here's a mentor that comes and helps the disadvantaged youth and meets with them every day after school, and then suddenly their attendance rate improves and they find a will to learn, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful story, but it doesn't account for the fact that people are able.
Right.
There are bad people that are going to take advantage of a program that works with children.
It's not always a Sandra Bullock movie where she finds the homeless kid who is great at protecting the blind side.
Right.
That's not how this works.
That movie also
of the time.
was not entirely accurate.
What? I doubt that Sandra Bullock would be in a movie that wasn't accurate.
And Rudy was outside.
Well, the announcement of the Everyone Mentors program took place on the district's third I Attend Day. Now, an I Attend Day is where the superintendent, principals, other staff members go knocking on the doors of chronically absent students. 30 family homeless shelters on Friday to visit some of these chronically absent students and sign up unregistered kids for school. The program program itself, at least according to the superintendent, was born out of his own issues as a kid. He said at 17, I was homeless, I slept under a bridge, I felt threatened. There are children who are far younger than I was, and close to 40 years later, they're experiencing the same tragic existence.
He attributes his accomplishments, graduating high school among them, because of his former fourth grade teacher. Because what she did beyond the classroom with me changed my life. And I have no issue with that. I think we can all point to a teacher or a handful of teachers that made a difference in our lives, that made us try harder, show up at school. I remember skipping high school all the time. And then I had a chemistry teacher who was like, stop messing around. You know, you're a smart girl, get your ass in the seat, stop ditching, you know, and I listened to him, and my attendance went up considerably. But that's what teachers are for, not strangers you can bring onto the campus that you can't set for.
Well, in this case, they say they have 12 community partners who will help administer the program. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, which I mentioned, is definitely one of them. Brotherhood Crusade, Good City Mentors, these are some of these groups that are going to be involved. There's a whether it was late 70s, early 80s, the after school special story, that's similar to what yours is, that there's a teacher who goes above and beyond and then say, because no one else can see it except this one fairy tale teacher, you should be the best guitar player, you should be quarterback, you should stay in class because you're smart, something. That does not happen very often. It happens more, but it doesn't happen very often.
My dad retired in early 2000. He taught for 35 years, San Francisco Unified. When he would leave, and he used to be that guy, he was like that fairy tale teacher, all the kids adored him, they just loved him, and treated them like humans, you know, and when he was getting out, it was the onslaught of all of the training for teachers of teacher kids. You can't give them any special treatment. If you want to keep somebody after school to talk to them, make sure there's a female in the room or what have you. All of these rules to separate teachers from their students, and because of liability. And now we're at the point where that relationship has been so distant that you're bringing in mentors that aren't fully vetted like your teachers are. You tell you can't hug the kids. It just seems like a little bit of a mismatch.
And if you want to, they have an interest form that's available. People can sign up and they can, get into this program. You gotta love it. I mean,
this will not be the last time we talk about the LA Unified Mentorship Program, and I don't think it's going to be a good story the next time around.
now you can let your kid go to school and they not have to get shot, but they do have to get a mentor. Anyway, we'll explain what's going on with all that. Right back.
Deborah Martin in the KFI Star Newsroom. 7-point magnitude earthquake killed at least 2,200 people in Syria and Turkey. ABC's James Longman says there is concern it will be much more difficult to get help into Syria.
This sort of catastrophically strong below the surface hit overnight, which means people did not have the warning they needed, and many of the buildings in this part of the world are not strong enough to cope.
Turkey's president Chinese balloon shot down by the U.S. Air Force over the weekend. The balloon.
U.S. Navy vessels swarming that debris field with divers, cranes, whatever they can use to find what is left of that suspected spy vessel to try to solve this secret incident.
Brother shall face the LA. He wants the daughter to turn himself or herself in.
Even for you, I know you're probably scared. I know that it has
Conviction of the driver. A 3-year-old boy has been found after he was allegedly kidnapped by his mom. He was found with his mother by cops in Ontario Saturday night. The mom does not have legal custody of the child and is homeless. Riverside police say the woman took her son around 12:30 Saturday afternoon. The mother has been arrested. And no need to call into work with fake sniffles the day after the big game if you live in Tennessee.
Football fans in Tennessee may be really happy they live on good old Rocky Top if the bill comes to life. Senator Lyndon Lamar and Representative Joe are introducing a bill that would replace Columbus Day with the day after the Super Bowl as an official state holiday. Sound says the day takes a toll on the workforce, and many people skip work the day after the game. The bill needs bipartisan support to pass and could go into effect as early as next year. Jennifer Jones,
101 in downtown LA.
It's on northbound side just before the 110. Everything is outlined off the freeway, but still saying a busy one for you as you're coming away from at least the 5 heading northbound on the 101 and then seeing delays beyond the 110 as you continue. Staying on through toward the Hollywood area, a bit early through the Columbia Pass and then no few delays again for the northbound on the 101 right around Van Nuys Boulevard. That's a separate track to the right shoulder, definitely still going for you as you come away from at least Coldwater on the 405 downtown leading the 101. Still going for your track really heavy as you continue through Boulder Pass, 405 downtown off the 101 into about getting central. Looks like you got a couple of cars that got in good blocking the middle lane. KFI and the sign up gets right faster. I'm not calling it John here. You've heard me talk for years about turning dental Southern California's premier dental practice. They're pioneers that do all-on 4 teeth-in-a-day procedure. Plus, they can handle all your dental needs from bridges, braces, fillings, cleaning, root canals, to cosmetic dentistry. 640 Smile, 888-640-SMILE. Restrictions apply. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far yours put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org. How much do you think your home is worth this year? Do you think it's going to be worth the same next year? If you're thinking about borrowing on your home equity, your odds of getting more out of your home is probably higher now than it will be next year. I certainly believe that. Some experts predict that property values might decline over the next few years, making it more challenging for borrowers to tap into that home equity. If you need $75,000 or more, HMS Capital can help you borrow the money you need with the equity you built. So whether you want to consolidate debt, make home improvements, or whatever your situation may be, HMS Capital may have the best solution to help you. No appraisal, credit report fees will apply. I've done 2 mortgages with HMS Capital. Clearly, I'm a fan. I believe they are simply the best at what they do. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com. Schedule a home furnace safety check for just $77 with Bruder Hero Plumbing and Air.
You've heard this saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that saves you a little bit right now, pennies, but then ends up costing you big time in the end, pounds. This is Leland Smith, founder of Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC, and we see this all the time. People putting off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time to spend the money to get it done. But it only takes about 90 minutes and costs just $88. Which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace turned on. You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Service Center for Precision Furnace Tune-Up today. Our number is 833-777-7777, or find us online at servicechampions.com.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. AMR, AM 640. The news, what it means, why it matters.
Everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Next hour, my friend Brian. Cranston, I don't know if you know him.
Would you,
He's,
would you call him a friend?
I do now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely.
Like Drew Barrymore's your friend?
She has not her end of the friend bargain, but I did. For some reason, she just came up the other day.
Like, you probably brought
You know what it was? So, did I tell you I'm vegan? No, it was my sister had said something about Drew Barrymore, and I jokingly said, "Oh, have you ever seen my prom picture with Drew Barrymore?" I showed her the picture of myself and Drew Barrymore from 7 years ago, whatever it was, right before she broke up with her husband. Not saying I had anything to do with it, but my sister was not. I will say, I don't think she was as impressed as she should have been.
Not many people are as impressed as you want them to be.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I mean, Drew Barrymore's great, but I think you expect people to be like, no, what, Drew Barrymore? Oh my, you have a picture?
Multiple pictures.
Multiple pictures?
Yes, I do.
You do look giddy in that picture.
Oh, it's fun.
Did you grow up watching her?
I mean, I saw E.T. If that's what you mean, then yes.
Did you have a crush on her?
Sure, at some point. Like the David Letterman days, maybe, when she was married to Tom Green.
Why do you know everything about
I
her?
don't know everything about her. That's hard. Fox says it sold out all of its Super Bowl 57 ad space. Big game, of course, came up on Sunday. The Super Bowl is the biggest stage. 100 million people will watch it. The executive vice president of ad sales for Fox says a few ads went for more than $7 million for 30-second spots. Most of them were right between 6 and 7 million.
I gotta say, I was really happy when that Tom Brady news broke last week. Because the hotel I was staying at, they had a screen on that in the Milwaukee area just showed the 49er Eagles game on a loop a couple days. I'd look at it and I'm like, oh, there we are in the second quarter. Oh, here we are. I'd look at it and I'm like, oh, there we are in the second quarter. Oh, here we are in the fourth quarter.
Oh, look at that. We're in the seventh quarter right now.
Yeah. I'm about to come in at quarterback. And then the Brady news broke that he was retiring, and then that of course dominated everything. So that was all over everything. But that game was on a loop. Yeah. Oh, no kidding.
All right. Well, California officials have quietly backed away from their plan to require COVID vaccinations for school kids. This would have been 14 months after Gavin Newsom visited a middle school in San Francisco to say California was going to be the first state to mandate COVID vaccines for 6 million students. Now, you remember, there was some immediate pushback, like, why have to get the vaccine? Then there were some, as people were going to go back to school for the first time, we saw this, the fall of 2021, where kids were going to be back on campus, and there were some questions about whether there was going to be a requirement at some point in that school year. We didn't have them as widely, the vaccine was widely available for kids. Some of them hadn't been approved for kids. So what was the plan? Then the governor said, well, we're not going to do it yet, but we still hold the right to implement them at some point. This mandate was put off another 12 months because, A, nobody wanted to get their kids shots. And B, nobody wanted to get their kids shots. They saw the math on this thing, which was, unless my kid is at severe risk because of some other comorbidity,
Why take the risk?
Listen, I had this discussion with a friend of mine just this weekend about me, and I think I told you, I got a call from the health department that said I'm eligible now for my booster. I only had one shot ever. I only had the Johnson & Johnson shot, and I had it early, like April of 21, something like that. So whatever benefit I got from that is long past, I assume. And then if I get COVID, then that also plays into it. And
You did.
I think I can.
But you just blunted it out, like Rodney cut you.
Dr. Roger King.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple days where you looked a little clammy up there.
But it was this question of, I said, I got the shot. My period stayed regular. Like, I didn't have to worry about any of these other things that were hateful. I got a little shaky, and if it's a gun range, I got a little shaky, but I think that was more the gunpowder than anything. And these ideas that the idea that the kid was going to be at risk was never a convincing argument.
To compound that was the problem that I had right out of the gate when I looked at the crypt keeper on the television say a 16-year-old has died.
Oh, the Lancaster story.
Yeah.
Right.
And before they verified this, they went on live television. And you and I sat there in our old studio and we looked at each other like, oh, yeah. If kids are dying from this house, and we're thinking worst case scenario, they haven't verified that. But yet they were comfortable enough to share all of that live. That was a problem for me. That was like one of those major missteps where I'm not going to trust you anymore.
This is awful. It is an awful place to be because in the event that we do have something that comes down the pipe that becomes an issue. There's a story this morning about 8591 that bird flu had transitioned from bird to ferret or some small creature that's not a bird. And then there was a concern that disease is one step closer to possibly disease. You know, is bird flu meaning as well? Is it an extinction level event? Do you see the field of words? I hope not. But in the event that there is a massive health issue,
I say bring back Dr. Jonathan Fielding.
talk about playing it straight. Yeah, that guy was great. May not have been the most tactful, but there was that.
I don't want that.
No. And I don't want my diversity, equity, and inclusion tainting information as it comes out.
I also don't want my public health director to worry about feelings.
Right.
Let's worry about science.
Speaking of feelings, Alex Baldwin is doing the but now it looks like they have a group of people who have jury state evidence and can testify against them.
It doesn't help when you're an a-hole.
Yeah, that's chalk it up to that attitude. Gary and Shannon will continue in just a moment. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
At least 5 homes have been evacuated, and most of them red-capped after a hillside gave way in Santa Clarita. The homes are in a new housing development in the Canyon Country neighborhood of Santa Clarita. Large boulders came crashing down yesterday on the sidewalk of the road, below the home. Unfortunately, regardless of most Americans continue to support Ukraine's efforts to reclaim its territory from Russia, and Beyonce has broken the record for the most Grammy wins of all time to 132 last night. Southland weather from KFI sunny and windy in some areas, highs in the 50s to around 70. This report brought to you by Tire Rack, going to 110 in South LA.
It's going to be a little bit of better news for you right now in Mountain View Boulevard, but late footage where you won't notice you get the lovely through the South LA area. From the farming has the 105 in the big port for North View Boulevard. Then passing for you further northbound in the day closer to and beyond through the 101. Southbound side of the 101, pretty slow going for you out of the Tarzan area, leading you to the Boulevard as you make way. It looks like right around Wood, it looks like Thurston Way for the southbound 101. Hollywood would be downtown, specifically from Vermont Avenue to the 110. KFI in the South, people are faster. I'm in college.
This report is sponsored by the San Bernardino International Airport at Guyana International Airport and land in the heart of New England in Hartford, Connecticut. It's the low cost and low way to travel. Learn more at flyfcd.com/Hartford. That's flyfcd.com/Hartford.
Are you looking for a way to protect your portfolio against the uncertainty of the stock market? Invest in commercial real estate with over $1.5 billion in assets. First National Realty Partners offers investors access to institutional quality real estate featuring national brand tenants such as Walmart, Kroger, Sprouts, Publix, and many others. FNRP is one of the largest syndicators of grocery-anchored real estate in the U.S. Investors choose the specific deals to invest in and receive consistent quarterly cash distributions. To learn about their investor partner opportunity, call the investor relations team now. 888-301-9010. That's 888-301-9010. Or get started at fnrpradio.com. That's fnrpradio.com. Get a preview of their current and upcoming deals and see what returns investors are earning. Call 888-301-9010 or fnrpradio.com. This is subject to receiving offers, but securities are only available to verify accredited investors. Current distributions are not guaranteed. Any representation made by investment stability reflects FNRP strategy and may or may not be realized. Visit fnrpradio.com. Nearly 3,000 people
private giant contractors each year. IRS survival is designed to save lives. So one day, Amazon Driving School gives students experiencing car control. Two exercises that include emergency braking and kid recovery. Find a class near you at IRS.com/survive.
As a walking pharmacist, people all the time about little tips and tricks for filling your medicine prescription, like taking advantage of Walgreens 90-day refills to save you a trip, or using a use by hand, which is super easy and right on your phone. And for anybody worried about prescription costs, I say, hey, you got this. With low-cost copays on many medications, let's talk about making things easy and fast.
I didn't really care for Ralph and Ruff. I didn't care because they never said more. So you looking at that looking back that had no glass in it, that I see logo it. I can see your MDM on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
You want the Jeopardy question? You just prove this Jeopardy days of the week calendar thing that we have is proof that we are a dumb society. Because these are so easy, it's ridiculous. The category is alliteration.
Undercutting.
Okay, well, I apologize, but this is not even under the umbrella of knowledge. Sorry, but seriously. Alliteration for 200. Here's the answer. Two couples out together for a dinner and a movie. Alliteration.
Double date.
Yes.
I don't even want that. No, don't play that.
Yeah, you don't even get a win on that one. That's just stupid. Why China's sending balloons over?
Politics is the top of next hour. Also, an interview with Brian Cranston, actor. Brian Cranston.
I'm telling you that talk to him because I am a big fan. And I would have buttered.
Well, I don't think there was much butter.
Not real good.
Well, I don't think there was much buttering.
Yeah, I would have put the butter on the cake.
Actually, he and Aaron talked how it is that you can actually use him in this Phoenix. How it is that you can actually use him in this Phoenix.
Speaking of the big things, when do we take our bracket live?
Tomorrow we're going to start voting.
Okay. Yeah. Have we talked about it?
A little bit. We talked about the dairy and jam big bowl of chips. We have all of these different flavors and styles of chips to figure out which snack food shall reign supreme.
Chips are very near and dear to my heart. It's how I got my husband trapped in this marriage.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
And it's weird because we've only been one. Like, if you stop reading them,
Of course, you saw what I got him.
realize what the hell's happening.
Alex Baldwin and the armorer on the set of Russ Hannah Gutierrez Reed are about to go to court. Alex Baldwin is facing up to 5 years behind bars for Little. He's facing 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter for the death of Helena Hutchins on that set back in October 2021.
This is going to be very, very, very bad news. February 24th is the one hearing. And the district attorney put out the 44 people.
That is a large witness list for a prelim.
Baldwin and Gutierrez agreed likely to appear virtually. They will prosecutors lay out some of the case that was filed last week in an effort to move ahead towards trial. The both Baldwin and Reed have denied charges, or at least denied that
they individually were the ones that were responsible for all of this. He denied that he actually pulled the trigger on the gun. And then in photos from the scene, which were part of that filing, and an interview with George Stephanopoulos, he admitted that his finger was on the trigger. That's not good for me. The DA is offering a future jury the option to choose which charge they want to center on for their deliberation.
There are a fair number of detectives, investigators on the list. Remember, this is a year-long investigation into that shooting. The DA's witness list also includes FBI forensic examiners, members of the Bureau's explosives unit. It just seems large. 44 people for a free run. They don't have to call all of them.
And I don't know if it's you throw it all at the wall, and you often to one of these secondary witnesses who might be somebody that actually holds a team that would prove it, would prove their case. The criminal charge against him would say that he, by act or omission or failure to act in his position as producer, directly contributed and or failed to mitigate numerous reckless behaviors actions during a very short time period.
That's going to be a tough one to convict him. I think the armorer,
the producer, Alec Baldwin,
the producer or the actor, it's going to be tough because I don't know how it works, but I would imagine that actors just kind of show up and deliver their lines and go where the director tells them to. And if it calls for you picking up a prop gun, you pick up the prop gun. You're not going to have any prior knowledge as to the setup of the set because you're the actor. You're not the armorer. You're not the director. And producers are not always on the station on the set. I mean, there's a number of producers that probably never even go to the takes place. How the hell are you unreliable?
Bifurcated version of it where he is literally the guy with the gun in his hand, and at the same time the top of the food chain in terms of the corporate structure that is the film production that he's going to be responsible ultimately for set conditions and the safety thereof. I agree. I'm not thereof. I agree. I'm not sure that can convict him here. I should say that I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being a hung jury for whatever reason.
100%. Because somebody's going to have a vendetta against him. Somebody's going to vote guilty on that jury. Even though the evidence is
So it is one of those things that will be interesting to see. February 24th, like you said, is the day that's supposed to be the preliminary hearing is supposed to get pushed if they need to.
I wonder how much his Trump portrayal plays into this. Well, I just wonder if people have formed an opinion about Alec Baldwin because of him making fun of Trump.
I would be more it's just that you, in a public way, an unlikable person.
I think so too.
And came across very unlikable in the aftermath of that. And it's probably a hard hill to climb to be some sort of a sympathetic character, but he went out of his way to not be the sympathetic character in the situation where he literally took someone's life by accident.
The New York Times has reached out to dozens of Democrats in the White House, on Capitol Hill, around the country, and they all seem to have come to a consensus when it comes to Vice President Kamala Harris. She has not risen to the challenge of proving herself as the future leader of the party. And this is from the New York Times. If the New York Times is turned on you as a Democrat, that's not good.
We'll talk more about that. We're getting this one. That's all about politics. Interview with Brian Cranston coming up next hour also. Jerry and Shannon will continue after this.
Pre-range non-genetically modified handcrafted artisanal gluten-free stimulating cost. Pain and time. Los Angeles, Orange County.
Everywhere. On the X video app.
Fatal Earthquake on Deborah Mars live from the KFI 24-hour news
where more than 2,300 people in Turkey and Syria have been killed in a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. Hundreds of people are still believed to be trapped under the rubble of toppled buildings and damaged cities. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent Israeli medical search and rescue teams to Turkey to help find survivors.
The Israeli aid, Netanyahu said, will be extended to Syrian civilians as well, presumably those who crossed into Turkey.
ABC's Jordana Miller says Israel's high-tech rescue teams will help find people trapped under an estimated 3,000 collapsed buildings. She says Israel is also likely to set up an advanced medical clinic to help treat those injured. The news is brought to you by WDC Kitchen and Bath Center. At least 5 homes in the Canyon Country neighborhood are under evacuation and have been yellow tagged following a landslide in Santa Clarita. The landslide was reported yesterday, and officials say the homes were evacuated out of caution until an assessment can be made by the city. The neighbors helped take their life worried for the people living in the houses that were evacuated. City officials say it's not clear what caused the landslide, but cited a geological issue. The area in the Skyline community is also being blocked off for traffic. City employees. The area in the Skyline community is also being blocked off for traffic. City employees in LA who have not been vaccinated against COVID-19 are getting a big break.
The single grant holder with the medical exemption filed before last Tuesday. The move affects more than 4,500 employees. The committee made up of LA Mayor Bass and 4 council members chose to give the city employees a break last week. Like those city employees in LA are still required to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Objectives submitted after last Tuesday will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. What's Joel KFI News.
Southern California has seen an almost 22% increase in calls in the first 6 months since the suicide lifeline switched to 988. Leading her crisis care VP Sherry Simwelski says almost 60,000 calls, 5,000 texts, and 7,800 chats were answered.
Approximately 93 to 95% of calls are de-escalated right on the call, or the chat, or the text. No further information.
Simwelski says calls are typically answered within 13 seconds and on average last about 13 minutes. Nationwide, more than 2,988,000 calls, texts, and chats were added in the first 6 months since the crisis line switched to revision. Officials in Ohio said they plan to release toxic chemicals from 5 cars with derailed trains to reduce the threat of an explosion. Ohio Republican Governor Mike DeWine says the controlled release of vinyl chloride will take place this afternoon.
The toxic chemicals also have the potential to be
He says the contents of the real cars are currently unstable and could potentially explode, causing deadly displacement with shrapnel. People near the site have been ordered to evacuate. The recovery of debris from Italian spy ship shot down Saturday off Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is expected to take a few days. On Saturday, a fighter jet hitting the balloon with a missile at about 60,000 feet. The Air Force confirmed this is the pilot taking moments after the China's vice foreign minister has accused the U.S. of an indiscriminate use of force in shooting down the balloon. He said the U.S. has seriously damaged both sides' efforts and progress in stabilizing relations between the two countries. The KFI financial report, the Dow is down 33, S&P 500 down 22, NASDAQ down 91, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California. Southland weather from KFI sunny with highs near upper 60s for Metro LA, mid to upper 60s in the San Fernando and San Gabriel Valley, 50 Antelope Valley, and around 70 in inland Orange County, low to upper 70s for the Inland Empire, and it will be busy in some areas. Right now, it is 60 in Orange, 61 in Buena Park, 57 in Agora Hills, and 59 in Truman Oaks. From the Southern California Toyota dealers shopping center like Hill Place, we're going to a crash on the 57 in Brea.
This is on the 57 northbound British Canyon Road. That crash at the carpool and the 2 left lanes blocked. They made it stacked up away from Imperial Highway. If you're on the south outside, you bet phone as well because of it. You're going to get the bank from Diamond Bar Boulevard. In Corona 91 westbound for 15, got an injury accident clearing to the right shoulder. Several cars involved in this one. And a down motorcycle. We got a bit of a backup. Glen Helen, 15 minutes at the Glen Helen Parkway. That wreck clearing over to the right shoulder. In San Juan Capistrano on the 5 northbound before the 73 toll road. Looks like they got a signpost that's lying in the
Looks like we got a metal signpost that's lying in the right lane. We're doing a hill. 5 stop at Alicia Parkway, then 12 car right lane, red offering. 80 Sepulveda to pass, 405 southbound before you get to Holland Drive. Got a pass clear into the right shoulder, but you're still going to see some stolen from Burbank Boulevard. And in downtown LA, 111 northbound, right off 4th Street. Got a report of a brush fire in the right lane is closed. KFI and Sky help get you there faster. I'm Jenny Harmon. What's for dinner? Avoiding food due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose or loose stool. It may not be just stomach issues. It could be UTI or acute pancreatic insufficiency. UTI can cause uncomfortable symptoms. It's a vicious condition where the pancreas doesn't really enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But UTI can be managed. Use the symptom checker at identifyuti.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyuti.com. Sponsored by We're going to catch up with Jason Nathan Nathanson coming up in the next hour. And have all of our brand news somewhere in after
Somebody called and asked, what exactly did they have to call it sponsor last night during the show?
Oh, constantly.
Just left the line open.
So that's a bold move to go to one of those drawn-out award shows when you're just on the brink of sobriety.
And everybody else, they were hammering for you.
Oh, you have to get through it.
The powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit different parts of Turkey and Syria earlier today. Hundreds of buildings have been toppled. The death toll, I just saw, jump up to 2,700. According to CNN, it is likely to rise to be held just simply because it could be some time before they even get a good grasp of who's missing.
It's so bad that Zelensky is offering aid. The country is at war, and he is offering aid to Syria because it's a dire need. They say that there is an emergency medicine, food there in Syria, keeping off of its power, water shortages for a long time.
A woman who died after being hit on Coast Highway down the Good Beach last night at 6 o'clock. They said she was crossing the road on South Coast Highway south of 9th Place and was hit several times by oncoming traffic from southbound, according to the Good Beach. Several times by oncoming traffic from southbound, according to the Good Beach. It was not in the crosswalk.
11 is when we dive into all of the news coming out. 11 is when we dive into all of the news coming out of Washington. Wow. Or that poll. There is a Washington Post ABC News poll that says 2 years into Biden's presidency, and he has accomplished not very much, according to 62% of Americans. And this is a Washington Post ABC News poll. So, take from that what you will. If that's at 62%, it's probably my time.
Yeah, that echoed by the Associated Press North Center for Public Affairs Research shows 37% of Democrats say they want Joe Biden to run for a second term. 37%. That's down from 52% in the week just before the midterm. That's a quick turnaround. I'm sorry, not a turnaround. That's a quick slide of just a couple of months like that. Follow-up interviews with poll respondents suggest many believe that his 8-year The wife is a liability.
Especially with Kamala Harris in the ring.
And I wonder even if Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren was asked about Joe Biden, and she said absolutely, he should definitely run again. I'm going to leave that up to Joe.
I'm just going to ask this question. Who is going to be up in arms on this? Okay. Who's going to be up in arms?
Anybody who believes that race is the determining factor in who the vice president is. You're going to have people who will say systemic racism is the reason the Democratic Party can't keep a black woman in the most powerful seat in the
The reason that she can't contest in the seat is because she hasn't done anything. It has nothing to do with her race. I just don't see her, there to be any outcry
if they get rid of
if they got rid of her.
Or oh, you can't do that. But seriously, can you get definition in there, or whatever they would say, whoever it is that they think should be.
It's got to be either a woman or someone of color. I would say that. Otherwise, people, if it's another white man, that would not go over well with the Democrats.
But there's plenty of perfectly qualified public servants that would fit into that role. But remember, you're still one cough, one leg hair, one heart attack away from the presidency. You want somebody who's going to have enough experience. I mean, that's maybe one of the reasons why there's so many people who are looking at Kamala Harris and suggesting that she not be the running mate for the next time around.
The New York Times tracks dozens of Democrats in the White House, on the Hill, around the nation, including some who helped launch her to that place on the 2020 ticket. And the consensus is that she has not proven herself as a future leader of the party, of the country. Some Democrats and their own advisors referred reporters for supporters, quote, confided privately if they have lost hope in her. So some Democrats were like, hey, why don't you go ask so-and-so? They'll get something good about her. So they went to so-and-so, and so-and-so's like, no, not good, not so good.
Now, how much of it is the difference between her emerging as a leader on her own, and how much of it is the president not giving her the right things to champion?
You've got to make your own way. You've got to shine your own little light. You can't wait for somebody to say, here's the perfect pet project for you. You're given a platform like this, there's so much you can do with it. There's so much, and she hasn't done anything. She's done things like pick off her staff. She's done things like create a toxic work environment. It's rapidly going to think since she got into office. One of her communications directors, regional communications director, Jamal Simmons, has stepped down. He said that he learned that the desk chair in her office needed to be changed to speaker. That's what she's focused on. Instead of embracing the platform as vice president of the United States as a woman, and it pisses me off as a woman that the opportunity has been squandered. You're worried about your desk chair? Why would that even be a thing? It's kind of like here. We don't care about our chairs.
Go on.
We want to just do our job, right?
The chair is not what is going to prevent you. It's not the determining factor of whether the show is good or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're doing. I see. Now, this article from the New York Times also says that it appears it's all but certain that he's going to run again. The concern over Kamala Harris has shifted to whether she would be a political liability for his ticket. And that, because people like here, the criticism, Nikki Haley, when she was talking about running, she had said last, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, you don't need to be crazy to be a good leader. She's already laying out the argument against both Trump and Biden, and why he, at 51 or 52 hours where she is, would be a better option. If Joe Biden does in fact throw his hat into the ring to run again, the first thing that people are going to do is say, Dad, you're 80. This is not a good time for you. Say things like, it's time to step aside. Republicans are going to say, you vote to put an 80-year-old in the office. To re-elect an 80-year-old is basically a vote for Kamala Harris. Because something's going to really debating. John Morgan is a prominent fundraiser for Democrats and said that would be one of the most hard-hitting arguments against Biden, that voting for Joe Biden is a vote for Kamala Harris in the Oval Office. And he says it doesn't take a genius to say, look, at his age, we have to really think about this.
He's never gotten out of the role of defense. He's playing defense. He's down 21-0. It's the second quarter, and he's just trying to keep up. And he's not committed to the run game. But it doesn't make sense. Yeah, and not to making mistakes. They're just being forced into making unforced errors.
And then he's going to
Pick here.
He's going to put the quarterback while he's up there already up bound.
You don't have to get it all back in this play. All right, just triple left. Just put together the rhythm. Play your game. Just jump and dunk your way down the field and just score some kind of points and get back into it.
George Sanchez will come back. Just more play. Oh, and don't forget State of the Union tomorrow night.
Nobody is waiting for that. Get your Japanese and amphetamines. There's some Senkan lying around. There's some 70s good amphetamine.
Looking at Eric Waldo's girlfriend.
At 7:28, now it's 2,600 people in Syria and Turkey. Still, there's a plan to lay off about 5% of its workforce for about 6,500 people. The company has been dealing with reduced demand for personal computers. The Pakistan Telecommunications Authority says that it blocked Wikipedia services in the country because a 48-hour deadline to remove alleged blacklisted content was ignored. We're going to go over to 405 next. If you're on 405, maybe, and you have just been triggered an accident, whether it's a car, motorcycle, truck, house. Is there a dog out there? Did that dog bite you?
This is a call firm that's been helping injured accident victims for 18 years in winning. We're talking about Sweet James accident.
Sweet James has now settled $188 million just this year alone for the injured clients. And the best part is, every time they settle a case, they donate meals to those in need.
They found almost 80,000 people in this last year. Most people don't know what to do when they're in an accident. But you may not be able to use your car. You may not allow you to go to work and take part in your normal everyday activities.
If it happens to you, just call Sweet James and speak to someone who cares. With nothing to lose, get the compassion you need, help with medical treatment.
And the money, the justice, you just deserve. So if you've been hurt in an accident, call Sweet James. Award best attorneys in America. 800-500-5200. 800-500-5200. Or go to sweetjames.com.
We have a call on the 405 in West LA. It's 405 West LA, Santa Monica Boulevard. It's the Senator Barker area. There's a break right clear, but you want to get a straight line from the Boulevard. Also on the 405 southbound right of Mahalo Gas clearing over the right shoulder. I'm still see some delays up on away from the 101. In Newhall, 5 south at 14 connector, another disabled vehicle in the left lane. In Boyle Heights, 5 northbound right after 710, has a large tire in the left lane. And in Brea, 57 northbound at O'Connor Canyon Road. Downtown still has the carpool and the 3 left lane slot. Ooh, back up from Imperial Highway. Pay a fine sign, I'll get you there faster. I'm Jimmy Arnett.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at night. Call our 24-hour victim hotline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or nursing degree in the classroom or online at Vanguard University, ranked as a top 10 university in the West by U.S. News and World Report for 12 consecutive years. At Vanguard, your story matters. Visit vanguard.edu to learn more. Win Las Vegas welcome to you to Awakening, a new theatrical experience created by award-winning artists, enriched by spectacular sound, meet colorful characters, and journey with them through wondrous realms. Experience Awakening. Get your tickets at awakening.com.
On the Record Files podcast, a leading example of human element. Shared stories of disturbing and vicious cases of possession. For the last 2 decades, Father Carlos partners have been counted to keep hope in nearly every way imaginable. Where Hollywood portrayed the exorcist with levitation, vomit, days at the tree, all of that has not
your questions. Listen to the Yesterday File on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This study, the methodology is flawed. Clean up the June, and July, and then it'll all get everybody back. We put out a number that says, oh, we're doing great. And then if it's scams, then I'm sure it's arranged by the city council members because these moves they all expect it. John and Ken, how are they going to play this live 1 to 4 p.m. on KMI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. My interview with Brian Cranston. I'm going to see you.
Did you take a bumpy the whole time I was gone, or today?
Really? Yeah, I don't know if it was like he was on the behavior, or Marla, Layla, or
You enjoy your time away from me, Jacob? Is that what I'm hearing?
it's got a little high, I will say. But the good kind of yeah, but in an exciting way.
It's something annoying. You just never want to deal with it.
We have a chance for you to win $1,000. You're saying you can pick it up. Now, your chance to win $1,000. Enter the like keywords on our website. Cash. That's cash. CAFA. Enter now at KFIAM640.com/cash. Powered by. Put that keyword on the website, KFIAM640.com/cash. And then people can send you email us. That's how they're going to let you know that you won that money.
George Santos. Oh boy, the hits just keep on coming. What hasn't he done to yourself? Now he's jumping into the sexual misconduct ring. This is a prospective staffer who has filed an ethics violation. And we've got some details here that came out on Twitter. This guy is 40-year-old Garrett Myers, and he says this is not about his intention of upholding actions accountable. Apparently, George Santos asked him on January if he had a profile on Grindr. You know, the popular LGBT plus dating app. He told this guy that he had a profile on Grindr, George Santos did. Later that day, this guy was in George Santos' office reviewing mail, and George Santos. He wrote in a letter, as Garrett Myers did, I proceeded to move forward with a discussion about the mail. The congressman stopped me by placing his hand on my left leg. And you're my goodness, listen, you love my leg down. And he got very leg. And he said, hey, we're going to take it. Garrett Myers defended my drawing. George Santos told that his husband was out of town, got him over to the house. He said they quickly took the congressman's hand away and grabbed the mail from the table and proceeded to discuss the topic of constituent correspondence. How do you transition back to correspondence after someone's grabbing your genitals at work? Like, how does that happen? How do you just continue going along with your day?
A few days later, he called back into George Santos' office and asked about his background as a journalist.
Like, you and Mondo are in the office, right? And you're sitting in your chair, right? And Mondo says to you, hey, you want to get a karaoke tonight? And you're like, no, just this chair. And put his hands up the way. And hits you in your eye. And then moves his hand up and down your leg. It's visual, right? It's jarring. It's like you're at work and somebody makes this kind of overture. So much so that they are Rick Jacobs' hand in the groin. And then you're just going to go back to talking about
doing correspondence.
is the show tomorrow? I just don't understand that.
He was called into the congressman's office to ask about his background as a journalist. He said, I had a question about matters that had already been disclosed in my conversations with hiring managers in the office prior to my job offer. That would have been January 30th. And then on Wednesday, February 1st, quote, I was informed that my job offer was being rescinded. When asked to describe George Santos' office, Derek said he remembered the neatness of the papers, the green post-it notes, and the clip bars on the coffee table.
Details matter.
I was never in there to admire the before.
Well, let no good disaster go unpunished. I think that's what we're seeing in this case. George Santos is clearly a disaster, and this guy's probably trying to make a little money off of it.
The fundraising story, very deep-pocketed Koch brothers, Charles and David, are, I guess, saying that they will be throwing some money and weight behind Republicans for the 2024 presidential primaries. However, if prepared to support candidates for the Republican presidential primaries who can lead our country forward and who can win, according to the CEO of Americans for Prosperity Action, top advisor AFP Action. The memo does not mention Donald Trump.
When this first came out, it sounded like they were going to spend money to defeat Donald Trump in any sort of primary, which I don't think you need to do.
Well, they do say an official with AFP confirmed to CNN network that the network is not planning to support Donald Trump's White House bid. I think you're right. I mean, it's a weird view of the polls lately that have kind of been split about if you just take Trump and DeSantis. There's a weird split there where some people within Florida are super DeSantis and some people outside of Florida are super Trump. So it's not a given necessarily that he wouldn't get the, I don't think he will, but it's not a given that he won't get the nomination, Donald Trump. So here's a union tomorrow night. Where to watch it? If you're interested, everywhere. And you can watch it on YouTube or Twitter or anywhere. You can watch it. Why do you have a interest with it?
I'm going to something in my head. I would say it would be refreshing for me to go, you know what, we're not doing it. Not going to do it this time. I'm going to just do the old-fashioned, get reports from my different departments and kind of go through that and the whole bit. But if you didn't do it, you'd be like, if you did, right.
Yeah, you can't not.
But on the heels of kind of a balloon disaster, then he did not come out, he was already a victim of fearing if you go back to Afghanistan with Paul, you're back to Putin feeling like he can pull the trigger and go into Ukraine. And this is just compounding the weakness problem, the optics of weakness. So we'll look at. I mean, if I'm surviving, I would have gone to Montana myself and shot that balloon down. To fear strong, and I am going to take the bull by the horn. I'd go shoot that thing down myself. And I stand right there.
I don't think Air Force One can go that far. I don't know what they're doing yet on that. It's 50,000 feet.
Put on a flight suit, get in an F-16 or whatever it is they fly. The military. What are we flying these days? What kind of plane are we out?
Was an F-16 that shot down the plane.
Do we still have that 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
I inquired, they didn't need my help. I inquired, they didn't need my help. But inquired if we could. First thing Saturday morning, I thought it was going to be done by then. But first thing Saturday morning, but this thing thought, look, if you guys need somebody, all they have to do, they didn't have to do is on the button. And then you know, then you shoot the balloon.
I like that kind of raising of your plan to say that you will help take care of the time.
These quarterbacks, we're in this decision. I think you're going to try first to have sorry. You started with football. Sorry. You started with football.
I would like to say in the past,
Somebody else was
when
trying
people wanted to talk about,
in your hands.
I was in a very precarious place emotionally, and you saw people trying to engage with me about it and cut it off. And I appreciate it. That's a good friend.
What I do.
Single
Very terrible. Because Deborah Mark is live and they can't find 24-hour news.
Family members of the three people found shot out about the family's tragedy. The daughter of the couple found dead on January 30th. There's a house out with her. We're still processing everything. We're rolling it away. The daughter of Joel's funeral.
It's really very nervous. I mean, you want to target real kids out here. We don't carry cash. We just have small business merchandise.
Daughter tells KTLA burglars that have been robbing several stores late at night over the what happened robbing state